I got to pick it up.
Why is this not playing? Alright, good evening and welcome to AM2 Action. This is Burzy J. Alongside me is Perry the Dog. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Hey, what's up, Burzy? Thanks for being here. We got the intro, the stream's working. The intro was beautiful. Thanks to the admins for that, and look forward to an exciting AM2. We've had 3 different winners, 3 different races, and can we see a 4th different winner here at our 4th track?
Yeah, totally. It's been a competitive grid so far this season, and I think we've got a lot of contenders for the championship so far, so it'll be interesting to see who can come out on top here at France.
We've got an interesting debate, I think, the one-stop strategy versus the two-stop, and I think most of the time we would see the one-stop strategy be the preferred strategy, but if you can run quick enough on the two-stop, it actually can lead you out to be quite a ways ahead at the end. So I guess we'll see as we get some laps being set here on board, some early runners and a couple of medium runners so far as well.
Yeah, I think as we're just waiting to get confirmation on dry qualifying. So we'll see as drivers begin to start setting some lap times, we can probably get an idea of what the race is going to be like.
Yeah, as we see Seagrass goes to the top. He had a tough race this last week with the speeding under the safety car, which pretty much dropped him, had to serve a drive-through and took him out of contention for the win, or else I think cards would have been in hand for Seagrass's win at Monza, and looks like he's set a particularly good run the first time out in the softs.
Yeah, I think he's definitely a driver to watch for tonight. He is one of the faster racers here in AM2, so I think like his qualifying time goes to show just how quick he is. So I think we'll look to see him push for a podium finish here today. I'm I'm on board with P Dog right now as he's ripping through the the getting into sector 3. My bad. Well, P Dog is a guy who is a very quick driver, and we look to see him finishing up near the top of the grid.
Oh dear, yeah, he just made contact with the Ferrari.
Oh.
Let's see, was that?
Oh, is he missing his
Was that
end plate?
Seegers?
He is missing his
I think
end
that was
plate.
Seegers. Yeah, he just. Seegers wasn't on a lap, so I think if he wants to turn it in, he can. But that obviously, I don't think Seegers saw him coming, and P Dog didn't lift on a fast lap, so he'll have to go again. Luckily, it happens early in the session. I don't think that anybody got actually. No, there wasn't a penalty associated with that incident, so luckily both of them can continue, which is a bit odd. Usually you see any contact at all, and you'll see a grid penalty. So far, iPhoner actually has a grid penalty with Andrew.
So drivers yet to set a lap. We've got Bodhod, Bam Bam, Andrew. And Kitten Petter is still in the pits. Looks like he is going to be holding out for the medium run near the end. We got Google Dougal, Portage Power, and Kano still yet to set laps. But so far looking good as we are midway through qualifying here.
Yeah, just going to point out the looking at the telemetry right now. Seegers, who has the fastest time set, has 2 purple sectors with SRS ARAM setting a purple sector 2, just about 600s faster than Seegers in the second sector, and they're about a tenth or so off from each other.
Wow.
Yeah, a couple tenths off. So.
Kano is on a hot lap here, so we'll look to see if he can. The racing points have been fairly strong this season. Both Kano and Bam Bam have been finishing high in the points consistently, and we'll look to see Kano continue that success here in France.
Yeah, we mentioned as competitive as it's been up front battling for wins and podiums, it is just as close in the constructors. I believe Mercedes has a slim lead, or it's the Mercedes and the Racing Point right close near the top. So it's one thing I don't think you need to pay too much attention to. I mean, we're 4 races into a 22 race calendar, but nevertheless, getting off to a good start is important, and continue to battle on the track and then in the constructor standings as well.
No, absolutely. I think and just trying to keep it clean and get consistent points will go a long way. As like you say, we do have a long season ahead of us still, but it's been exciting action here in AM2 up to this point, and we look forward to another race again today.
We'll see. Not really much to compare with what Kano can finish at. I think he's had a very clean lap on the mediums, and Bodhad's had a fantastic lap on the mediums, just under a 130. And Kano will go about almost a second and a half slower, so puts you into perspective how good a Bodhad lap was on the mediums.
Absolutely. iFunners. So we're looking like iFunners getting ready to start a lap as he's coming through the final couple corners here. Look to see what he can do. He's chosen to go out on the softs, so interesting to see. I'm curious to see what some of these drivers choose for strategies. If how many of them opt for a 2-stop strategy, or if some of them want to go for that medium to hard, or even try doing a soft to hard strategy tonight. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a lot of invalidations as well. And so could potentially play out to be a little bit shaked up of a grid. iFunner's got that grid penalty already too, so he's going to try to put in a great qualifying session just to make up for those 5 spots he'll lose when we get going.
Oh. Looks like P-Dog has accidentally left the session. Hopefully we can get P-Dog back in.
And it's a fairly this is probably the most, I wouldn't say easy tracks, but it is I think it's the most straightforward in terms of making pace, and also there's a lot of overtaking opportunity. So even if you go with the medium strategy, there's a lot of potential later in stints to make up some ground on the track. And I don't know about these guys, but I know personally speaking, it's definitely not one of my favorite tracks that F1 has added in recent years, but it's still, I think it's still definitely a driver's track firsthand. It's not really controlled by, sometimes in street racing you get caught up in other people's accidents. I don't think that happens as much here in France.
Yeah, it's nice because it's pretty wide open. There's lots of runoff, so I agree with your opinion there. It's not my favorite track either, but it is still a challenging track to drive nonetheless, and it's fun to see action here at France. But yeah, like you say, it's nothing as crazy as the street circuits are with their tight walls lining the tracks. So iFunner set a 130.4, putting him up to 7th. So with that 5 grid penalty, he'll currently be 12th here. But we'll look to see some of these other drivers set some faster laps.
Not really anybody jumping out. Obviously, I think right now, as Kitten Petter is invalidated, and I don't know if you caught that on stream. He's breaking some cost qualifying rules.
Oh, I might have missed it there.
But I guess he might get away with it. I don't know, but so he invalidated, and that's one of those things. Now he's trying to hustle back to the pits and get another lap off.
Yeah. Oh, good. We got P-Dog back in here. Hopefully he can hop in, regroup, and get a lap set before time expires.
I think you're on board right now with Porridge. Porridge had a tremendous race. I think got a podium last week at Italy, and the McLarens have just been looking faster and faster as I think both of them get more experience on F1. And fortunately, I think for this race league, this is kind of the game to have on PlayStation 4 right now. I don't think there's much competition. I think part of it is, GT Sports kind of wearing out its life. It's still a fun game, but it's, kind of an older game at this point. So I think F1's pretty popular. Ford has also got a good slipstream.
Yeah, totally. I think with F1 being one of the first sports to kind of get back up and going again too, that helped with kind of gaining some traction and some popularity, and it's good to see the sport grow and the audience numbers grow for the sport too, and it's good to see people enjoying racing, even if it is virtually for the most part. But it is a fun game to play.
You got an extremely wide berth, I think, in this field. I mean, Seagrass has a little ways from SRS, and then almost a second over Cream Median third. And then you got Botout and Bam Bam on the mediums, kind of setting themselves apart from those who have done the medium as well. So I think the front half of this field tends to spread itself out a little bit, and then the middle obviously has their own battle.
Yeah, totally. I think it'll be interesting with these different tires. Hopefully we don't have an early safety car and people are able to get their strategies to work out how they want. But we'll see as things play out here. As it looks like Andrew and Google are on a lap, kind of more or less. or Google Dougal is more or less towing Andrew around here, so I wonder if that'll help his time at all, or if the dirty air is gonna affect his lap in a negative way.
Yeah, I think it should help Andrew, especially second sector. He's got the long back straight. But sector 3 as well, if he's that close to the car behind, or car in front rather, he's gonna have that issue. And it looks like, yeah, the AlphaTauri ahead just pulled off.
So it looks like Cream wasn't able to improve. So I'm not sure if he's got enough fuel for one more run or if he's just going to shut it down. Who else has just come across the line? Looks like P-Dog is about to start his hot lap, so we're going to ride on board with him as we close out the final minute of qualifying. Uh-oh.
No, there's Andrew invalidated on the, I believe it's like turn 9 or 10, the long right-hander, and he was having a pretty good run. I think had the slipstream working, but invalidated. It's pretty much a one-shot opportunity for P-Dog now.
Yeah. Shoot, we'll hop on over there. So it looks like we've got Seagrass, Arcaka.
A lot of these guys are starting their final round, I believe.
Yeah. So here we go. We'll see. I'm on board with Arcaka. We'll see if Arcaka can improve his time and get into those 129s.
Oh!
Uh-oh.
Lost the back end, too aggressive on those medium tires.
And that's the end of that, unfortunately for him. And we're hopping on board. Looks like, oh, Bod's out on track, but he won't be completing a lap as time expires. iFunner's coming into the pits as well.
I think there's some time discrepancy for us as well.
Oh, okay. And Kitten is giving her to the line. We'll see if he can set a time here. And he does. Sets a 1:30.9.
Yeah, a lot of these finishers coming down, but not really improving. I think Seegers did pick up a little bit, about a tenth and a half, so 128.6 for him. Puts him about half a second clear to second. Right now, I think the last guy to get across and start a lap is Bodhad. But here comes a McLaren. Arcaka did not improve. And I think there's a Red Bull.